In today's video, we have Sony CEO Kenshiro Yoshida claiming that a next-gen PlayStation is necessary and it won't be much different from the PlayStation 4 and the architecture will remain rather similar. That is really good news and I'll explain why. On top of that, Fallout 76 is just a little over a month away. The Break It In early test application will be kicking off at the end of this month, but we do know that Fallout 76 will be a game that features various microtransactions, and I definitely want to take a look at that because that's going to be a big talking point as we head into the release of the game. Also, a game that a lot of people are comparing to Metal Gear Solid in Left Alive that's being published by Square Enix. We got a brand new trailer for the game and we have an official release date. It is not too far out, and it's coming on the same day as another big game release, so I guess that's the idea in 2019. Let's just clump up all of these big games to release on the same day. They're doing it with February 22nd, and now they're doing it with another day. I find that a little bit funny. I don't think they're planning it whatsoever. It's just happenstance. It's coincidence. But yeah, if you thought fall 2018 was bad, early 2019 is gonna kill your wallet just as much. Moving on from that, Hellblade: Senuas Sacrifice has been one of the best, also maybe a little bit underrated games of this generation, and it is coming to retail, originally available as a digital only. Now you can get a physical copy of the game. And lastly, I do want to round out the video by taking a look at some fantastic game deals available right now over at Best Buy and Amazon. These are all physical game deals. We recently just uploaded a video taking a look at the 2 new PlayStation Store sales, so if you're more of a digital guy, make sure to check out that video. Otherwise, if you want hard copies, we've got you covered at the end of this video. First up, Kenshiro Yoshida, the CEO of Sony, is saying that a next PlayStation is necessary. This comes from an interview with Financial Times, and here's what he said. At this point, what I can say is it's necessary to have a next-gen hardware. He continued by saying whatever this next-generation hardware is, it won't be a major departure from the PlayStation 4, with the fundamental architecture remaining rather similar. Now, why is this good news? That means that backwards compatibility to PlayStation 4 is a rather given. That was the issue with the PlayStation 3. If you guys don't know, the PlayStation 3 opted for this crazy cell architecture. A lot of outside and non-first party studios had a very hard time developing for the console, and that's why we saw a lot of multi-platform games be released on the PS3 as a lesser version of the Xbox 360 counterpart, even though if you optimized the game for that cell architecture, it ran very well. That's how we got games like Uncharted 2 and 3, The Last of Us. Those games were very impressive from a technical standpoint being on PlayStation 3 hardware, but it was a little convoluted to develop for, and now we've seen with the PlayStation 4, it doesn't have backwards compatibility with the PS3. We've seen PS2 games make an appearance on the PS4. I'm sure PS1 games could be running on the PS4, but we cannot get those PS3 games working. With the PS5, I think it's a foregone conclusion that it will be running PS4 games, and given the fact that patents have already been filed for backwards compatibility, I would say that's a shoo-in. Now, what's going to be even more interesting is, will they finally be able to get PS3 games running on the PS5? That is something that I think is still up for debate. Also, it is said that esports is going to be a major focus for Sony with the next PlayStation, and Sony said that they want to host top-level esports events with the PlayStation 5 or whatever they decide to name the console. Yoshida wouldn't commit on a specific name, but I think it goes without saying the next PlayStation will be called the PlayStation 5. So for any of you that were still living in that fantasy land that consoles aren't going to stay, that this generation was going to be the last generation of consoles, there were actually people saying that before we headed into this console generation, and of course the PlayStation 4 has done incredibly well, even though the Xbox One is behind. If you actually look at that console's numbers, it is doing very well, and we could be seeing new consoles as early as 2019 if a lot of the postings are to be believed, like Infinity Ward suggesting that their next game, which is to be released in 2019, will be also released on next generation platforms. We'll of course keep you guys updated with everything. Moving on from that, Fallout 76 will be featuring microtransactions, and its currency that it'll be using is called Atoms. Atoms can be acquired in one of 2 ways. They can be earned in-game by completing tasks, but they can also be earned by dropping a little bit of that real money. Pete Hines specifically said that the game will, quote, throw atoms at players all the time. So it looks like atoms will be easily acquired if you just play through the game, but let's be real. We know how these microtransactions work. Usually they'll stifle how easy it is to get atoms, so you are incentivized to drop a little bit of money, and it is said that these atoms only go towards cosmetic purchases. So with that being said, because of the fact that it has no direct impact on the gameplay, I could see there being various cosmetic items that are priced very, very expensive, and then if you just acquire atoms in the traditional way of playing through the game, it's probably going to be pretty hard or pretty time consuming to get those top tier cosmetic items. You've seen it with other games such as MOBAs. You'll have various skins that are priced very, very low, but then you have those legendary or ultimate skins that are priced very, very high. And actually, with a lot of the MOBAs, you can't even get those skins unless you drop real world money. At least with Fallout 76, you do have the opportunity to acquire the items by just playing the game. The Fallout 76 break-it-in early test application will hit PlayStation 4 on October 30th, and then the full game will be out on November 14th. Speaking of release dates, a game that has just gotten its release date is Left Alive, a Square Enix published game that many gamers are comparing to Metal Gear, and once you look at some footage of this game, it definitely gives you that Metal Gear vibe. We got a brand new trailer for the game, dubbed the release date trailer. So when is this game going to be released? Well, on March 5th. Now, March 5th is also the same day that Devil May Cry 5 releases. February 22nd, we have all those games releasing, and now March 5th, we have Left Alive and DMC5. Probably another game or two going to be thrown on that release date. I think it's even crazier now that we're getting an idea of how many games are coming out early 2019. I mean, January, February, March, all of those months are already packed. So if you're looking to get some breathing room with your wallet early next year, that is not going to be the case at all if you do want to pick up all of these new releases. Left Alive specifically takes place in the fictional location of Novo Salva in 2127 after a devastating surprise invasion leaves the city swarming with enemy troops, towering mechs, and in burning wintry ruins. You'll play as 3 different characters with 3 different paths, all seeking salvation from war that has erupted in the city. As each of those characters, you will have to make difficult choices in your escape that sometimes are a matter of life and death. The choices you make and the routes you take will have a direct impact on the story and how it unfolds. We'll leave a link to the PlayStation blog post where it goes super in-depth with Left Alive, but there will also be a Left Alive Mech Edition. That's a Square Enix eStore exclusive that includes the Day 1 edition, the full game, and the Day 1 Survival Pack DLC, a Volk action figure, a hardback art collection, steelbook case, and a collector's box. You don't have an idea of the pricing on that, but we will keep you guys posted. Again, Left Alive drops on March 5th. Also, Ninja Theory has just announced that their most recent game in Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice will be making the transition into a retail version. They announced this over on Twitter, saying, quote, "Did someone say Hellblade Retail Edition coming to Xbox One and PlayStation 4 December 4th. Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice was a terrific game and really surprised me with how good that game was because early gameplay of Hellblade looked a little bit sloppy, but then they turned it into a rather remarkable game. It released at a budget price point of $29.99 and it was really, really good. Unfortunately, if you're a PlayStation gamer, that is the last game from Ninja Theory that you're going to be playing because Microsoft has recently acquired them. So whatever they're working on next, it looks like it will be an Xbox and Windows exclusive, so that's a little bit of a shame. But still, Hellblade is a fantastic game and I would recommend you to check it out. And if you are the kind of guy that likes to have hard copies of your games, well, now you have even more reason to buy it. Lastly, I want to quickly take a look at some great deals available at Best Buy and Amazon right now. First, let's take a look at the Amazon deal. Shadow of the Tomb Raider, the limited Steelbook Edition. Yes, this game just released, but it is pretty significantly discounted. It is 30% off, knocking it down to $41.99. Now, before you guys jump and buy this, I would have to say Black Friday is right around the corner, and I could see this being a game dropping as low as $29.99 from the looks of it. This isn't a game that's doing all too well from a commercial standpoint, so I could see Square Enix being incentivized to drop the price even lower. Still, if you were planning on checking out the game, if you're eager to play it, Shadow of the Tomb Raider is a very, very good game. Just like Rise of the Tomb Raider, just like the first Tomb Raider, it's building off the successes of those games. Also, a couple good deals on Best Buy. Monster Hunter World is down to just $29.99. What a fantastic deal on that. On top of that, if you do have your GCU subscription still, you'll save 20% and that'll knock it down to $23.99. I believe it's been cheaper used over at GameFly, but if you want a brand new copy of Monster Hunter World, not gonna get much better than this. I don't see it dropping much lower than this for Black Friday. Maybe it'll go down to $24.99, but $29.99 is a pretty exceptional price for this game given how much content you're getting. And lastly, Devil May Cry, the HD collection is down to $19.99. We're coming up on the release of Devil May Cry 5, so why not revisit the franchise with the DMC HD collection? Of course, it includes Devil May Cry 1, 2, and 3. 1 and 3 are widely regarded as great games. Devil May Cry 2, not the best in the franchise. I did seemingly enjoy it more than most people, but it is nowhere near the quality level of DMC 1 and DMC 3, but hey, you get it with the HD collection. $20 for that is pretty good. And again, it's at Best Buy, so GCU subscribers will save a little bit extra and you'll get it for $15.99. So that's going to conclude this video. Again, Kenshiro Yoshida, the CEO of Sony, is saying that a PlayStation 5 is necessary. However, the fundamental architecture of the console will remain similar to the PS4. I think that's a very positive sign if you are worried about backwards compatibility not being there. Fallout 76 will be featuring some microtransactions. The currency is called Atoms. You'll be able to acquire it in-game and they can only be spent on cosmetics. Left Alive is dropping on March 5th. Ninja Theory is bringing Hellblade to the retail market. Shadow of the Tomb Raider's got a great deal on that over at Amazon. $41.99. Monster Hunter World down to $30 at Best Buy, and DMC HD collection is down to $20. Links for everything will be in the description box down below. That's going to conclude this video. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comments section. Thank you for watching and goodbye. This video is brought to you by scdkeys.com. You need store credit to buy your games anyway, so why not get it for a bit cheaper? They've got PlayStation Network $50 credit codes, and after you use our special code with GC3, you'll be getting that for just $46.64. Also, if you're looking to buy games on your Nintendo Switch, they've also got Nintendo eShop codes for $45.59 after you use the code GC3. They've also got fantastic deals on PC software such as Windows 10 and Office 2019. Check out the links in the description box below to get great deals on everything I just mentioned.